Hello, my fellow wealth hackers. This is Erwin Cito bringing you the Truth About Real Estate Investing show for Canadians. It's funny because I hear often from the feedback how people appreciate the fact that this show is for Canadians. No US stuff shared here. Anyways, a quick share on something that's always served me well. I have an open mind. At least I think I do. It's something my dad taught me as he comes from a science background. So he always taught us to be inquisitive, but not naive. It served me well as an investorpreneur. That's a word. I don't know if I made it up. It's a combination of investor and entrepreneur. I believe that all investors, especially real estate investors, are all actually entrepreneurs in the industry of real estate. Anyways, there are naturally tons of ways to lose money in both real estate, investing, entrepreneurship. I've lost lots of money on poor investments, bad contractors, bad employees, bad marketing and social media services. I've had dentists try to sell me expensive work that I didn't need. They didn't know that my dad's old business partner is a dentist. His practice just happens to be very out of the way for me, but I'll make the trip out for a second opinion. Not once, but twice have I had to do it. I've had a realtor tell me that a sixplex needed $70,000 to increase the property value by $200,000 if the property had been listed for 2 months already and was being sold by a well-known slumlord in Hamilton. The agent didn't know that he didn't know who I was. I showed up in a hoodie. And he didn't know who my buddy was, who was a fireman, an assistant captain or alternate captain. We stared in amazement at the wood fire escape that looked like it was ready to fall off the building, and it didn't have steps. It didn't have steps that reached the ground by about 10 feet. $70,000 only to renovate, eh? Anyways, yeah, this is what it looked like on the outside. What do you think it looked like on the inside? Anyways, one of my mentors is investing heavily in Bitcoin, which is it's been on a tear for anyone who's following it. Personally, I'll wait for a pullback before getting in, but I did purchase some Ethereum, and I'm up around 60% ROI in just a week. So yeah, being open-minded paid off. I also own some gold, physical gold and silver, and some gold and silver mining stocks. When smart people who have an extensive track record of making money share advice with me, I listen, research, and take action. Saying no to action is also action. So I say no way more times than I say yes. Luckily I have Cherry, my wife, who is an accountant, to vet my ideas. Since she sees hundreds of tax returns each year, so she knows exactly who makes money and who doesn't, and where people lose money. It's that simple. And by track record, I mean at least 10 years, minimum 10 years. With great references. And I personally don't pay attention to folks who have a YouTube channel or a podcast I generally tend to lead to the older folks again, because I'm more interested in people with a lot of experience, at least minimum 10 years experience. Anyways, that's not to say the young people are bad. It's just with so many options out there, I personally just lean towards those with a bit more experience. This week, we're going to answer some mailbag questions. Quote, "Hey Erwin, I love the real estate podcast, but I'm also interested in stock hacking side as well. Just curious on average what amount of money is invested in for these kinds of returns." End quote. Answer, no different than real estate. Returns vary between real estate investors. For example, this week's guest is Mat Piche, and I'm pretty confident he makes more on his investments than I do. Our appreciation might be the same, but he has his own construction crews, his own staging company. I basically just compiled some of the results from some of our past guests. We've had Joel Arndt, who works with me, and he's averaging 4% per month since June, and he just did 7% cash return in November. Ron Esteban, who's a school teacher who will be returning to the show soon because he's possibly our top student. He's averaging a couple $1,000s per week. Chris Lewis is averaging 1% to 2% per week since April. Michael Bugg, who is a veterinarian from Saskatoon, he's averaging just over $3,000 a week. And of course, the past does not predict the future. My real estate client Andrew, he's a bit of an outlier. He shared with me a screen capture of his returns, and it's just over 200%, as he correctly invested in mostly electric vehicle manufacturers and some of the stay-at-home stocks. I honestly don't even want to share these grand slam returns that my friends are getting, because it's crazy. But the name again of the show is The Truth. It has the word truth at least in it. Oh, and by the way, all of these people are real estate investors. And other than Joel, all the other people I named, I'm pretty confident they got their investment money from real estate, either their homes or their investment properties. Myself, it's been a great month. I'm up 20% in November. I realized $4,200 US today. Follow-on question from the same gentleman. Quote, I have about 5,000 at the moment. I'm willing to invest. Do you think that's better spent on education or learning what I can now and taking action? I understand you have multiple stock courses. What do you recommend I do? So my answer was the answer depends. Great answer. When I was younger, my focus was first on maximizing my job income so I can save more and get more credit for mortgages. Hence, I invested in my own training. I consumed a lot of Brian Tracy books and programs, including The Psychology of Success and Psychology of Sales. I soon after switched roles in my company from operations to product management, and I received about a 40% pay increase as I was taking on more responsibility. A few years later, I think maybe 2 years later, I became a successful realtor very quickly. I started in the summer of 2010, and by the time 2011 was complete, I had earned 6 figures in commissions in 12 months. Both the increased salary and career in real estate allowed me to become a better real estate investor and qualify for more credit because I had more income. End quote. I don't mind answering questions from listeners. Please just don't ask me to mentor you. I have kids and I have team members that I'm responsible for and clients. On to this week's guest in Mat Piche. I invited Matt to come out, hang out, record a podcast. I showed Matt and his excellent videographer Tyler how to stock hack. We went to virtual galaxies to shoot zombies in virtual reality, where we walk around with game controllers shaped like guns. We each wear a headset and headphones, plus a battery pack in an empty room, and the game is displayed on our headsets. It's super cool. We were joined by fellow investors Seth Ferguson. He has his own TV show, Andrew Hines. I think most of you know his podcast, Ron Esteban. Again, my client, real estate client, and probably the top stock hacker student. Charles Waugh is a real estate developer, and Kevin Hune has a massive mortgage lending practice in Hamilton. All 6 and 7. Everyone in this group has 6 and 7 figure real estate businesses or they're real estate professionals. Needless to say, we had a blast. A lot of laughs. I made a comment on how visible minorities never make it out alive in horror movies, so our fair-skinned friends should lead the way, get between us and the zombies. It actually worked out because Ron and I got the top scores. We went for dinner afterwards where the conversation, of course, covered real estate, private lending, flipping, stock hacking, all these great ways to make money. There are very few things that I enjoy better than hanging out with like-minded, and even better when it's ultra successful people. And you'll never know what you'll learn in these conversations. If safe to do so, I recommend you all do the same. As a general statement, I believe our collective mental health has suffered during this pandemic. Being separated from friends and people and having fun. Of course, as I record this, the VR plays Virtual Galaxies is in Mississauga, which is Peel, when they are now locked down. So we can't even go VR until late December. But I hope you're all taking care of yourselves. Grab some friends, go for dinner, go for a hike, preferably with like-minded, success-seeking people. So, not sure where to find such people. Our iWin meetings are again public. In person is for clients only. Online is available to anyone. All proceeds go to charity. The January 23rd meeting will feature a market update as usual, some ramblings by me, and then what we're seeing on the streets in terms of investment properties and rents. And our feature presentation is on infinite banking by our guest, Jason Lowe, and Cherry Chan, my wife, who is an accountant. We'll also have my friend Hussein, who is my lawyer, on hand as well, so that you have a comprehensive understanding of how one of these massive secrets of the rich. I think that's often missed by folks. You can't just get advice from one person, one professional, for example. I like to hear what all my professional teams thinks on one subject. So my insurance professional, my accountant, my lawyer, I know a thing or two about investing. So, it's a pretty good team to put together. And we put this group together for, I think we charge $20 and it all goes to charity. So it's a ridiculous value. We're here to serve more than anything. A personal friend of mine was actually magically able to obtain three or four more mortgages after she ran into a wall, thanks to infinite banking. If you're on my email newsletter, you'll have the links to register. Or if you don't, go to www.truthaboutrealestateinvesting.ca, enter your name and email on the right, and you'll receive updates on when this podcast comes out, the show notes, event happenings, including our iWin meetings and Stock Hacker Academy. Quick stock hacking update. I'm up 20% return. I'm up 20% return for the month of November. It's only the 24th as I record this. And last week I cash flowed about $3,000 US. Today, I mentioned earlier, I realized cash return of $4,200 US. So this is my new normal. All this stuff about the new normal. This is my new normal. I'm growing my real estate businesses, and I'm 4-figure cash flowing per week as a side hustle with plans to golf a lot more next year. Again, that's www.stockhackeracademy.com if you're interested in learning more. For anyone who's interested in purchasing the course, if you buy today, you get all the resources, all the recordings from the October course as well. And you are also invited to attend the next live stream course in March. Personally, I would want to learn this ASAP, maybe even over the holidays, because if you follow U.S. politics at all, the new president promised a whole bunch of stimulus money. Now, I'm not a particularly smart person, but I've done an okay job at getting in front of monetary trends. Again, that's www.stockhackeracademy.com. Again, on to this week's guest, Mat Piche. He's a normal guy. He's a third-generation carpenter. He used to have a job of renovating houses. Then he shifted to renovating investment properties for investors as his own gig. And then Matt's investor clients were asking if he knew any investment specialist realtors. He didn't, so he became it. Matt started sharing on YouTube back when fire was invented in 2012, and the rest is history. If you didn't already know Matt, he's very successful, and he's here today sharing a ton of tips, tricks, market updates. So have those pens ready. Matt's an open book, and he's dropping gold. I give you Mat Piche. Hey Matt, what's keeping you busy these days?
Same old. Deals.
No slowing down,
No slowing down, yeah. I'm changing the direction in terms of like how we're making our money, but we're still going full throttle. Yeah.
Okay. How are you making your money?
Mostly we're going into flips now, which is like very active, but then a lot of private lending as well to balance that out. So I get the money for doing nothing.
So you're lending, not borrowing?
Yeah, we're lending a lot. So like, for example, like all the flips we do, all the realtor income that I'm making, pretty much all the income period I'm making, I throw it right into private lending now immediately.
How do you fund your deals then?
Other private lenders.
Okay, so you are doing some borrowing.
Yeah, so we borrow everything that we do, okay. And then I lend it out. Yeah,
because I thought you meant like all the money's going out the door. Like some money has to come in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a lot to unpack. Let's start with the actual real estate that you're acquiring. What is it you're doing acquiring real estate wise?
So the flip wise is mostly all is single family. That's what I kind of specialized in when I first started. That's what I know really well. So it's just, 3 beds, 1 bath, single detached home. Mm-hmm. We're really focusing on buying those. Mm-hmm. And they're usually for motivated sellers. They're distressed. So we're just doing all the easy stuff that I like. Paint, flooring, trim, kitchens out. Make it look nice, put it on the market, sell it. Like that's the whole game plan for us now.
Mm-hmm. And then where are you finding these motivated sellers? On MLS?
Yeah, no, off MLS. Unfortunately, you can't buy flips on MLS anymore in Southern Ontario. It just ain't going to work. So we're getting these deals direct to seller. So we have a whole marketing campaign, picking up these sellers. And that's how we're finding all the deals.
Amazing. And you're doing this, you do your own direct marketing?
Yeah, so we do it all like in-house, but we have a team doing it now. So we have like an acquisition manager that takes all the phone calls, goes to the house, closes the deal. So I'm not part of that anymore. So I don't even talk to the sellers. We're getting to the point now where he just calls me and says, Matt, we bought a house today. Like that's the point I'm getting at, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. So I'm not part of the transaction anymore. And then we hired a project manager about a year ago. So she deals with all of the renovations, scheduling contractors, materials, etc. So I only see the property the day we close. So I shoot the video with Tyler here. I shoot the before. And then at the very end, I come back, I shoot the after, and then I take all the credit. No, I'm kidding. So that's the only time really I see the properties, the beginning and the end. And then everything else is automated, systemized, employees. It's awesome, man. We're getting there. We're getting there.
That's pretty impressive. I think it's been a long time since we talked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, damn, this has been too long then, because I remember the last time. I remember when we talked a long time ago when your focus was more on realtoring.
Yeah. So I was building that business up at that time, but that business now is also gong show blowing up. So we have assistant realtors on our team helping out with that because that business is growing really fast too. So kind of positioning myself as the CEO of all these businesses and just running them, making sure they're running smooth, coaching my my employees and stuff. And that's what I want to focus on more, is just that.
This is impressive. Okay. We have a lot to unpack here. How much time you have?
I got all day, baby. Let's go.
Really? I don't know the attention span of my listener. I know mine's bad these days. All this social media stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, that's another thing we could talk about too.
For sure.
All right. Okay. So why flips? Why not buy and hold?
Yeah.
Why not apartment buildings?
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, I always wanted like easier and boring. So I understand the single family, but I did the whole buy and hold for the past 10 years. So I built up the wealth side of my business. So now that I've built up that up, I always say now I'm interested in the cash part of the business. I have the, multi-million-dollar net worth. That's fantastic. Now let's build up the cash part of the business, the active income. So that's where the flips comes in. And then also the private lending. We're making a good amount on that. And that kind of pays for my whole lifestyle. It pays for the whole business, all the marketing, everything is covered from the private lending alone. So any profit from the flips or the realtor income, et cetera, just goes right back into private lending to grow it even more. So that's kind of the system I'm kind of following now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So why the decision to private lend your money instead of putting it into your own deals?
Yeah, I just want like I keep going back to this. I just want easy and like stress-free. And private lending to me is like the realest way of true passive. We were always told that, rental properties are passive income, and we all know that's a lie. It's passive-ish, right? It's great. Yeah. And it's important to do the rentals to build the wealth. But at a certain point, we want true passive, and I want travel the world. That's very important to me. I don't want to worry about money. I grew up in a family and a household that money was very, very tight, straight up kind of like scars you a little bit, like just traumatic growing up in that stress all the time. So I don't want that anymore, right? So I kind of promised myself, I don't want financial stress anymore, right? So the private lending just is the perfect fit for me in my goals, which is boring, predictable money, comes every month. All I got to do is click my mouse and accept the e-transfer. That's it. Like, it doesn't get any easier, right? And then I can have fun with the flips and, grind over there. But the important stuff is taken care of. The marketing, the employees, the lifestyle, the house, the mortgage is all taken care of with private lending. So it's becoming fun and cool.
And you still do have your buy and holds?
Yeah, I still have them. Like, I'm not opposed to buying it. We're still buying more. I still got partners that we're looking. I'm just slowing down a little bit on that side and focusing more on the flipping business and the private lending.
Amazing. And then, okay, so for most of the listeners of this show, most of them have never done a flip.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing for the 20 listeners of this show. I think we need to go back to a bit of your story as to how you got started in this. So, like, what did you go to school for?
Yes, I mean, right after high school, I got right into carpentry. So my dad was a carpenter, his dad was a carpenter. So I kind of fell into it. But I had no intentions of going to construction, like grade 8, 9, 10, never. It wasn't until grade 11 where I finally did like a shop class that was construction based. And I did it and I was like, dude, I'm hooked. Like, I was like, okay, I guess I'm falling in right into my dad's footsteps, right? I loved it. So right after high school, I got right into my apprenticeship with a small company, did that. And then I started my own company, about 20 years old, renovating properties strictly for investors in my area of Kitchener-Waterloo. That's all I did, was just renovate for them. And the more and more I kind of worked with those investors, the more they said, Matt, I wish you were a realtor, man. Like, my realtors don't know anything about this. You know how to renovate for tenants. You know how to keep the budget low. You understand properties, investment properties. I wish you were my realtor. I kept hearing that. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do construction forever. I know that's not my plan, to be breaking my back every day. Why don't I give this realtor thing a thought over or think about it? And, fast forward, I got right into it. I smashed through my whole courses in like 4 months. At that time, it was easier.
Yeah, that's 3 versus 5.
Much faster. So I smashed those. I became a realtor specializing, again, only with investors in Kitchener-Waterloo, and just started growing my business from there. Started attracting more partners just from my social media, my YouTube videos, and then it just kept snowballing.
Okay. So again, way too much to unpack. Because as you talk, I'm like planning the next hour.
Yeah,
so we're already on to
Nice.
hour 6 in
Okay, no
my
problem.
very small brain.
No problem.
All right. So you said partners.
Yeah.
How do you do partners now? Is it, you've heard a lot in the past about like 50-50.
Yeah.
They bring the money and the credit.
Yeah.
How do you do partnerships now, and how did you do them at the beginning?
Yeah, so it's kind of always the same from the get-go, and it still is now, which is the partner brings all the money and they bring the mortgage, the financing. That's all they have to bring, money and mortgage. I then do all the rest. I run the whole business. I find the property. I help them buy the property in their name to get the financing. So I'm the realtor in the deal in most cases. And then I'm running the renovation. I'm running the crews. I'm running the property managers, the bookkeepers, the accountants. I run the whole business. They bring all the money. They bring the mortgage. When we sell the property in 3 to 5 years, which is our typical holding range, we split profits 50-50. Very, very simple.
And how's the experience been?
Awesome. I love it. Partners are happy. I'm happy. It's a win-win for both of us. At the start of this year, I had 35, 36 properties. Now this year we sold off about 10 or 12 to do private lending. But yeah, lots of partners. Properties are boring and easy. It's been good.
Fantastic. So your experience isn't the same as many people.
Yeah.
Do you realize you know that?
Not really, no.
Okay. No, we've had a lot of people on this show who shared not always the best experience with partners. Even as a realtor, as myself as being a realtor,
for sure.
Like investment is, you see some greed in sometimes.
Yeah,
and you see not always the easiest people to work with.
Yeah, luckily I haven't had any like major problems. We've had, I guess the biggest problem I've had so far is like somebody wanted to sell early, which is fine because this market in the past 2 years has been a gong show. We still made money. That's great. It just didn't go as planned, but that's okay. Like some things pop up. I've never had like a major headbutting, incident or whatever. So knock on wood.
Is it something to do with who you screened to be your partner? You think that was effective?
I think it is. And then maybe just who I attract through my marketing, which I talk a lot about, on my channel, which is just having a very direct message. So the people that come on and raise their hand to partner with me know exactly how it's going to go from watching my videos. They understand what we're doing, how we're doing it. So I think they're the right partner to begin with. I'm attracting the right person off the get-go, which is really nice. I think the mistake that I'm assuming some people made that you talked to in the past where they just partner with anybody and everybody. Whoever has the money, I'll just partner with you, right? Well, that's kind of where you run into problems maybe. The people who are coming on know exactly what I want from them. They know what they want from me. It's very, very basic.
Fascinating. Okay. All right. I think you're going to have a whole bunch of YouTube competition pretty soon of the 15 listeners of the show. All right. Still, more to unpack. Okay, so take, for example, for lead generation for your marketing business for distress sales.
Yeah.
What is your thing? Like flyers, newspaper ads?
I can't tell you anything. No, I'm kidding. So it's all the same as everybody else. So it's flyers, Facebook ads, online ads, kind of what everybody does. It's just being consistent and staying on top of it and doing massive volumes. That's what I've learned recently is if you want to be a wholesaler or a flipper and build an actual business to buy properties regularly, you got to do massive volumes in order to compete with the big guys like me, right? So that's kind of the secret. That's all I'll give you.
Okay. No, that's actually the name of the show is Truth About Real Estate Investing. I don't want to tell people things are easy.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Right, and versus I've had this happen. I'm guessing you've probably had this happen too. Is you have a new novice investor come to you and say, "I like to flip." Yes, always. Like Matt, I'm from Toronto. Yeah. I want to meet you in person in Cambridge, whatever. Yeah. Kitchener, Waterloo, wherever it is. It's my first time in the city and I want to be a flipper.
Exactly. All the time. Here all the time.
So it's easy for that person, right?
Yeah. No, very hard. It's easy once you got the systems in place and the team, etc. But to get to that point, it's a major grind.
What would you suggest to that person? Do they hire a general contractor, for example? Do they hire an architect to do their drawings? Yeah. Is there things that they should be taking on themselves?
Yeah, it depends on the size of the job or what they're doing. But essentially, it's finding the right contractor is literally the most important part of real estate in general, but especially for flips because we're on a timeline. The budget can only be so much or else you lose money, etc. So finding the right contractors is literally the most crucial part of this business. If you have a bad one, you're done. You're not going to make it. So if you have a good contractor, though, it just makes things so much easier.
And then how does that work for your business? You are, well, not you, but you have like a whole contractor business of your business?
So we have 2 teams, like 2 subcontractors, like carpenters, 2 crews that do that. And then they do all of my work. So essentially how I keep them with me and happy is I keep them busy. So we buy constantly, and I literally have these 2 crews that work for me, pretty much work for me all year long. So most of their work comes from me. So they're in a sense kind of like my employees, but they're not my employees. I don't have like a fruitful renovations crew that we have. I'm leaning to that point. We might be going there, but right now I don't want to go there. I don't want to deal with insurance and employee, I don't know, benefits and whatever, all that stuff. I just don't want to deal with it. I'd rather have subcontractors. They deal with their stuff. I pay them more for them to pay those things, but I don't want to deal with that stuff.
I get you.
But we're getting there. Maybe we will be soon. I don't know.
I'll organize a meetup with you, me and Ryan Carr.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Because I believe his 3 crews are
they're all his, right?
employees.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So he's doing that. So, and I hear a lot of other flippers doing that who are busy, who are consistently flipping. It might make more sense to do that. So we're getting there.
Sounds like you're busy.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're going to get busier.
Oh yeah, we're going to. That's the plan.
Can I ask you about what do you think of the market, where things are going? So we are recording today on November 11th, Friday the 13th.
Yeah, of course.
So the market's going to fall of crap.
Yeah, exactly. Right after this.
We're going to say like this, you can make money like Matt.
Yeah.
And then things are going to go to hell.
Yeah,
because it's Friday the 13th.
Exactly.
Trump will tweet something. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just preface that with we don't know.
We don't know, yeah.
But actually, to start with, how did your market fare during this whole pandemic?
Yeah, nothing happened. There was no COVID pandemic in Kitchener. In terms of market real estate, nothing happened. It actually got hotter. Because when people, when the major lockdown was over, I think a lot of people realized like, I hate living in my little condo. I want to buy a house now. So like everybody's buying houses now. So it's just a gong show. So like long term, I think it's just going to continue. It's just the fundamentals are too strong. Just like in Hamilton, Oakville, Kitchener-Waterloo, Southwestern Ontario in general, the fundamentals are too strong. We have lots of job growth, population growth, lots of immigrants coming here. It's not going to stop. So I don't really see like some major correction. I'm sure there will be something that softens it a little bit, but in terms of like hell on fire kind of thing, I just don't see it happening at all.
So you've been selling properties.
Yeah.
Do you know who's buying them?
So for me, like I only work with investors only, right? So all my clients are investors. So they're having a field day right now because they're trying to pick up more deals. And the tenant market right now is ridiculous in Kitchener-Waterloo. You can rent a property on like 2 days. Like it's crazy. So good for us. That's what I'm seeing. In terms of like the normal people buying homes, I think it's just millennials like finally buying their first home and saying, screw it. I was cooped up in my condo for COVID. I'm never doing that again. I'm going to buy a townhouse or whatever, right? So that's what I think is going on. Lots of millennials finally getting into the market and saying, screw it. The market's been on fire for 3 years. I was waiting for it to come down. It's not coming down. I'm buying now because I'm sick of it, right? That's what I think is kind of going on.
And do you think that's local market as well? People that live in condos in your local market that are progressing to the houses? Yeah,
like I think most of the buyers in Kitchener-Waterloo, well, we know for a fact, are just other Kitchener-Waterloo residents. There's this misconception that like Toronto people are coming to Kitchener and buying all the houses. It's not happening. Like there are obviously some people doing that, but we're not seeing like everybody moving to Kitchener from Toronto and then commuting to Toronto every day for work. Like that's just, nobody's doing that. It's other people in Kitchener buying other Kitchener houses.
Got it. Yeah. Very good. And then tenants, do you think it's similar? Still locals? Or
still locals,
are you seeing a bunch of Toronto people too?
Totally locals, especially the renters. They're just locals, yeah. It's like the millennial age. They're getting of age of, wanting to move out and getting their house. So there's a flood of tons of renters coming on the market. Or people downsizing. A lot of people have sold their homes in the top of the market and now they're renting. Like a lot of the private homeowners we deal with that we buy our deals from, almost like 9 out of 10 of them were buying their house and then they're renting. They're taking the profits and renting. So a lot of downsizing is happening too.
Yeah, just even my own experience, I see a lot of investors just taking profits. Like
totally.
The pandemic was just like a trigger for them. Like,
totally, yeah.
It's like, we're scared.
Yeah.
And then like, holy crap, my property went up 20% over last year.
Yeah. Let's sell now. Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
some
totally.
people was like, I thought things were going to heck.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are considering exiting.
Totally.
In like February, March, April.
That was me, yeah. Because like my New Year's resolution kind of thing was I'm going to sell off 10 or 12 properties. Yeah. I was on a roll, and then COVID happened. I was like, oh, right. But then it still kept going. So.
And then when did you exit those properties then?
We're still selling some now, but like the last one we sold was like last month. But I've been selling like 1 or 2 properties a month for like every month this year, it seems like, in terms of rental properties.
Cool. So I'll ask you this because not many of my guests are selling properties.
Yeah.
What do you do to get them ready to sell?
So we just renovate them and then make them look nice, obviously. And then the most important thing is staging, right? So my wife and I stage. We do so many flips that we bought our own staging equipment because we used to always hire a stager for $2,000 a pop, $2,000 every time we flipped, right? Well, we bought furniture for an entire house for $4,000. And now we have it, right? So
Mhm.
every house now is free. So it kind of totally paid for itself in like a month of
Nice.
doing our flips. So we do our own staging, but staging is the key, honestly, to selling your house for top dollar. It
Fantastic.
makes a huge difference.
And then, like, who moves? You have movers, or your contractors are helping you
Yeah,
do
so
the
Rachel will
moves?
do it, and then we usually have like one of our employees do it, or just a friend who wants to get paid cash on the side or whatever. Like, so we have somebody helping to load the truck up and take it. So
Fantastic.
yeah,
Amazing. Okay. Hopefully the listeners enjoying this.
yeah,
I'm enjoying it. I'm a real estate geek.
yeah,
So I'm a bit weird, and I often do a lot of things in the show that I enjoy.
yeah, for sure.
I don't always know if the listener enjoys.
Yeah,
Because, for example, like, I've had a guest on from Florida, for example.
yeah,
And I'm just curious how the Florida real estate market works.
Yeah.
And what are the opportunities in Florida. And I'm not doing an ad or anything.
Yeah.
I don't endorse anyone what they do.
yeah, exactly.
But I'm just a geek in that I enjoy understanding what folks do.
Yeah,
And again, I enjoy geeking out with you and appreciate you being here.
yeah,
When I booked you for the show, I went and creeped you.
yeah. Nice.
Just a quick Google
Yeah,
to see how many Instagram followers,
Nice,
how many
nice,
YouTube followers you have.
yeah.
You have a lot.
Thank you. We're getting there. We're getting there. I still think it's too small for what we do. Me and Tyler always talk about it, but we're working on it.
Do you know what the number is?
Our followers?
Yeah.
Yeah, our YouTube is like 18,600 or something like that, around there.
I thought it was more. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It should be like 100,000. Come on, guys.
Do you get money for that?
Yeah, the YouTube
Directed
ads.
YouTube?
Yeah, yeah, it's just a YouTube AdSense. Yeah, it's a nice little, it's fun. It's
Right.
just fun.
Is it even significant?
Yeah, I'll just say. So like for our channel, it's like $350 a month, 400 somewhere between there. It kind of ranges.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cash flow from
Yeah,
like a.
sure. That's a property. That's
Yeah.
a cash flow property.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are the major benefits of having a significant social media presence?
I think it would be just getting your message out there. And then like for me, when I started the YouTube, it was all for growing my business, my actual business. So there's like the YouTube game, and then there's like the business real estate game. So I use YouTube to get partners. That was the main focus. And it has been really up until now.
Mhm.
So we haven't been like doing specific videos or clickbaity videos and then the terms of growing the channel. Now we're kind of, discussing how to do that. So it's really been focused on like converting partners to become partners and build my real estate business. So that's been the focus.
Interesting. How many leads for partners come in versus actually how many convert?
Yeah.
Because one of the challenges I find with newer investors trying to raise capital is they get frustrated quickly.
Yeah.
Like I got all these no's. How many people did you ask?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. For sure.
I think you need to try a little more.
Yeah.
How many people come in, and then
Yeah.
how many people are actually you feel are qualified?
So for me, this might sound like a high number, but like 80 to 90% of the people that contact me are turned into partners. We buy deals.
Wow.
And again, it goes back to the messaging and like exactly who I want,
Right.
what this is going to look like. Everybody knows what this is going to look like before they even call me.
Mhm.
So we have a good conversion rate for that, which is awesome. Yeah.
And then I guess you're letting folks know the capital requirements and their credit requirements ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah. So we screen them just like I'm a realtor, just like any client, right? Are you pre-approved? How much? Are you sure you're good to go? We're going to buy this firm. Are you sure? Okay. And then we do that. But yeah, everybody's qualified before we even start.
Mhm.
And then we just start sending them properties that, that I want to buy. And then, yeah, that's it. Very simple.
Okay. The listener caught that because I caught that. They're ready to buy firm.
Yes. Yeah, they have to be.
Sight unseen.
It's even with my realtor clients. Every client I talk to, partner or whatever, when we talk to them, I say, are you ready to go? The offer is going to have to be firm. It's going to have to be. So are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we are. Okay. Well then come on board. Right.
Right,
So
right.
they're getting pre-approved and like pre-qualified
Mhm.
before we even start.
Mhm. And then just for myself to share, when I sold my house in St. Catharines just last week,
Yeah.
I had 3 offers. Which one do you think won?
Yeah.
The one that was firm.
Exactly.
Because I've even told that to my team as well. If
Yeah.
there's 3 offers, one of them is going to be firm.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the firm offer always takes it. Always. Even if it's lower, the firm offer is going to win. In this market, people just want certainty, right?
Sellers always want certainty.
Yeah, for sure.
Stuff happens.
Oh, definitely.
Because actually, I sold that house previously,
Yeah.
and it fell through on financing,
Yeah.
right? And the financing problem was, this is hearsay. I'm hearing this from the buying agent.
Yeah.
The buying agent was saying how his buyer had deferred a mortgage and had since caught up. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
If they're just making payments again or actually covered all those deferred payments.
Yeah.
And then that showed up on their credit. And for that reason, they weren't able to get mortgage
Yeah.
insurance.
I know. It's crazy.
Oh, damn. I don't think any of us knew this.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And of course, the buyer was disappointed because he wanted the house, and now
Yeah.
he is being denied the house.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
I have to go sell the house again.
Yeah. Oh man. Realtor problems.
Total realtor problems. And then the argument, just like you said, is, that's why people want the firm offer.
Yes,
Stuff
totally.
happens.
Totally.
Yeah. We had an appraisal not come in on a duplex.
Yeah.
Even though all the duplexes are going
Of
over
course,
700
right?
grand.
Of course.
Yeah. We had an appraisal not come in. Right. So, and then imagine if you're the seller.
Yeah.
And the buyer walks away because the appraiser didn't get
exactly,
it
right.
And that's the other thing I noticed is that I know a lot of flippers are trying to do duplexes, but you're not.
Yes. I don't like to sell a duplex. So like 90% of my partners, we're doing duplex conversions. We love that, to duplex and refi, et cetera, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like to flip a duplex. I mean, I will, but it's not my first choice. I'd rather flip a single family house because there's less buyers. You're dealing with a specific buyer, homeowner that wants another apartment, which a lot do, but you're kind of, taking out a lot of the market there. Or you want an investor who's going to buy that house, and investors want deals, right? They're not going to give you the highest price all the time for a duplex. So I'd rather sell a single family house. That's what's in demand. It's hot. Again, I'm a huge baby man when it comes to money. I don't want to lose money. So I do whatever's like almost a sure thing. Mm-hmm. And single families are a sure thing, like every time.
Awesome. What year did you start with YouTube?
2012, right at the beginning of 2012. Yeah.
When did YouTube start?
I know, like 2011. I mean, I don't know, like 2008 or something. I don't know.
How many videos have you done?
I'm an OG. I don't like 550 videos or something like that. Yeah, we're up there.
What's the average length?
Racking them out. 10 minutes, I think, is the average length of video.
Oh, wow.
How many minutes is that? 5 jabillion minutes? I don't know. I'm a real estate investor, but I can't do math quick on the fly, man.
Oh, I joke, but I'm serious. I'm like the worst Asian in math. Yeah. It's close to 100 hours of video content, which is a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you edit all your own stuff at the beginning?
At the beginning, oh yeah, until like 2019. I just recently brought Tyler
7 years you edited your own video?
Yeah, while being a realtor, while flipping, while buying partner deals. Like, it's a gong show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've outsourced the podcast production for quite a while.
Yeah. It's so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have video.
Yeah.
I got to edit all the parts where I look stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like stupid faces. Now I just edit it when I say something stupid.
Yeah. For sure.
Amazing. Okay, so again, there's so much to unpack. What has been like the most important part of the business? Okay, if you had to give up all parts of your business except for one, which one would you have to keep?
The flipping, 100%.
The flipping.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the fastest growth. I understand it really well. We have the team, like I said, so it's just like that's the biggest money maker for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would have thought you would have said your social media, your YouTube.
Yeah.
Because that brings in the money.
That's a good point right there. See? Yeah, I need it all, man. I need them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all important. They all have their place.
Interesting. Sorry, and then also, when did you start going heavy at the private lending?
Just like
from the lending part.
Yeah, just like 10 months ago. I just started that.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it is, but I find that's about the time where everyone started talking about private lending.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is.
COVID, right before COVID? I don't know. Yeah.
Because I think we started both investing around the same time.
Yeah.
And it was always about buy and hold.
Exactly, yeah.
No one was talking about private lending.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I just learned about it like 10 months ago. I was like, what do you mean I can private lend to my friend over here and charge 14, 15, 16%? What are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
And then once I, learned about it, I tripled down. I was like, I got to do way more of this.
Uh-huh.
I started doing it, and then it was just like, this is easy. Let's do more. And yeah, that's kind of how it rolled.
What kind of deal do you look for to lend on?
So I like to lend to other flippers like myself because I trust them if they're doing volume and I know them. And then I know they're going to keep the money because they're going to do more and more and more flips, right? So again, I want the easy, predictable income.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to keep flipping, which is great. And then also someone that knows what they're doing, obviously. So they have a business. It's not their first flip or second flip. I'm not lending to them. I'm lending to people who flip all the time.
Is it in your market or other markets?
Around my market. I used to be just people like around me. Now we're starting to lend to people more in Ontario, but just Ontario for me right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you lend to someone in Sudbury?
Yeah. If the deal makes sense. Yeah. I like to be a little lower. Barrie and lower would be great. Yeah.
And then what are some of the details of terms so that you like what kind of like LTV, for example, loan to value?
Yeah. So if it's the flipper, I give them 100% value. It's mostly promissory notes. So I'm really trusting these people. There's no mortgages right now. Sometimes I do, but it's promissory notes mostly. So
fascinating.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And then what about borrowing?
I borrow the same thing I just said. I borrow from other people who like, man, I like you. I watch you on YouTube. It looks like you know what you're doing. Here's the money. Yeah. So again, all my private lending is coming from YouTube, like for sure.
Wow. You're gonna have so much more YouTube competition.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's gonna hire away Tyler.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Again, too much to unpack. Hang on. So you said partners before, though. You mentioned that they bring the money and the credit, and then where does the private borrowing fit in?
The private borrowing is for only the flips because we just borrow private funds to buy the house outright. No mortgage, no banks. We just buy it outright, right? Okay. The partners on the buy and hold, they go through the bank. They put 20% down, they get a bank loan, and then we just hold on to the property, right?
Amazing.
So 2 different types of partners for that.
Amazing. Awesome. And you teach this stuff. Like people can hire you to teach
Totally. I teach it all the time. It's on my YouTube channel, a lot of it for free. And then I teach it with coaching sessions or courses I have. I teach it all, man.
Tell us about what the teaching options that are for hire or for
so we can do coaching calls with me or 1 hour in-person coaching sessions with me, and then all my courses. So there's like the unlimited cash course where I teach you exactly how to build a social media following to get partners specifically. I teach you everything I do for that. We have the renovation course because a lot of people want to renovate like my properties and make it easy. So I give you every single product that I buy for my flips, you can buy. I give it all to you. So you know where to buy it, how to buy it, whatever. So your property looks exactly like mine. So if you're renovating, you don't have to think about it anymore. Your property it's going to be easy. So you can buy that course and it gives you all that. We have books, other little courses for starters. Yeah.
So I told you when you walked in today, one of your students was here yesterday.
Yeah.
And we won't name names because we didn't have permission to.
Yeah.
But how long have you known that person?
He's been a client of mine for like 5 years.
5 years?
Yes, I helped him buy, I think now up to 4 or 5 properties I helped him buy in Kitchener-Waterloo. And then, yeah, man, he's killing it.
Yeah, he was very happy.
Yeah, totally.
He actually came to interrupt me. You gotta stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you about Matt.
Like, that's awesome.
Oh, did you know Matt's coming here tomorrow? Like, no.
Yeah, nice.
He didn't even know.
That's awesome. How weird.
He had to tell me that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's funny because I only share this because I say this sometimes. You are who people say you are.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've got some crazy tough stuff talking your. But he's obviously known you.
Yeah, exactly.
He obviously knows you quite well for 5 years.
Yeah.
So he said, like, Matt's legit.
Yeah, that's
Matt's
cool.
authentic.
Awesome.
Everything he says is real.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's very good to hear. Very humbling.
You should have him write it down.
Yeah.
Shoot a video.
Totally.
Maybe Tyler can shoot it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How many students do you think you have?
Like direct coaching clients that I kind of helped, I don't know, about 40 to 50, like people that I've done coaching sessions with. And then all the people that I don't even know about from like YouTube and people that come up to me like, hey, I love your podcast. I learned so much. It's like, that's wicked, right? Like, that's so cool. Yeah.
You know, it's cool. And then I probably focused too much time on it, but I'm just bring it up. What about the haters?
The haters? Yeah. We don't get too many of those, but Tyler deals with those real quick. He smashes them.
I find it's definitely weird. I don't know if the pandemic has made people even more sensitive to
more
these
keyboard
things.
Warriors. Yeah, I don't know, man. It has, I think, because most of our hating comments are probably recently, in the past 8 months.
So if anyone can't hear Tyler yet, Matt and Tyler are saying how most of the comments are coming in the last 8 months or so.
Yeah.
I've even noticed it on social media, like on Facebook, and just the anxiety is way up.
Yeah, totally.
People on the attack is way up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure what it is.
Totally.
How's life been for you?
Yeah, like, you know what? We realize like how boring we are because our life is like the same pre-COVID and post-COVID. Like it's the same life. We just chill at home. We just do our thing, go to the gym. That's life. So nothing's really changed for us other than the travel. That's the big one because we travel a lot and now we travel none. So yeah, that sucks.
No travel across Canada?
No, we don't really do Canada because I hate winter. I hate the winter. Like I hate it. And I like summer where we are. Summer's nice down there in Kitchener. So we just chill there. But yeah, in the wintertime, like I hate winter with a passion.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows me knows my hate for winter. So I ain't going to Canada in the winter. I'm trying to get the hell out of here. But it'll be interesting this winter how I deal.
I was just chatting with an Alberta investor.
Yeah. Oh, they already have like winter like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think they have significant snow. We're talking from an investment standpoint.
Yeah.
I said, I'm happy here in Ontario.
Yes, me too.
Somewhere around 40% of the immigrants will come here.
Exactly.
And I hate the cold already.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Oh, way worse.
Other
worse.
places of Canada where it's even colder. Oh, what else to talk about? Okay, so flipping.
Yeah.
Let's have some. Can you give us some parameters on what it is you're looking for?
Yeah. So house-wise,
will you take any deal? Like,
almost. The only ones I stay away from are like major structural, like foundation cracks, or like the floors are sloping, like you're walking like you're drunk. You know what I mean? Which is surprising because I come from a carpentry background. I understand how to fix those issues, but I just rather not. So I'm looking for cosmetic stuff. You know, houses that haven't changed since the 60s, 70s, shag carpet, ugly pink kitchen. I'm looking for stuff like that, just cosmetics. So that's what we're looking for. And then a seller who's understanding that they need to sell a little bit under discount in return for me buying in cash today. If they understand that and they want easy, then, you know, we'll do that deal. And we can talk about the financial. I'll even give you the formula of how we buy.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that, because that's a very, very good. I need my phone because, again, I ain't very good at the math. So we always buy, we take the after repair value, you times it by 80%, you subtract the renovations, that equals purchase price. So for any wholesalers or flippers that want to get your own private deal, that's the formula we use. So let's do like a real life example.
Sure.
So in Kitchener-Waterloo, an after repair value, like a bungalow, will be worth 600 grand. When I'm done with it and it looks fruitful, pimped out style, right? It'll be worth 600K.
Fruitful.
So we know that's what it's going to be worth. So if I take 600 grand, I times that by 80%, we have 480. So I know going into the appointment, I'm at 480,000 before I see the renovations. So I walk through the house with the seller, they show me around. It's going to cost me 80 grand to renovate this house to make it look fruitful style. So I take that 480, I subtract 80 grand, right? I'm at 400K. That's the price I can pay, Mr. Seller. Do you agree? That's it. That's how we price deals. If you buy a flip at that formula, you'll never lose money. You'll always make money.
And then how often do you think you get resistance from the seller?
99% of the time. Because the market's so high. Well, my neighbor just sold for 550 and it looks just like mine. I offer them 400, right? And they're like, get out of here. So we deal a lot with that. And it's just a matter of educating them. Like, you know, I understand that you want 550. It's not what we do. We can't pay you that. But in return, we're going to buy this cash today. You can leave all the stuff, your couch, your, you know, whatever, your chair that you don't want to take away, leave it all behind. We'll take it. Don't clean. Don't do nothing. Sometimes in return, people like that's worth it for them. The houses we're buying aren't just like your everyday house, right? Like they're hoarder houses, like they're beat up. You can barely sell them on the market. Even if you wanted to, you can't sell these with a realtor. It's just not going to work. So,
well, a hoarder house, for example, would be unsafe.
Yeah, exactly, right? So
you may even require like an engineer report if it's like significant hoarding.
Yeah,
so like stress on the structure.
Yeah, and there's like moldy ceilings, like whatever. There's stuff going on. Like you could, like in Kitchener, you could sell on the market. Like I'm sure someone's gonna buy it. But the biggest thing is these sellers are embarrassed. That's the number one client that we buy from, is they're just embarrassed. They would never have somebody walk through here other than me. You know, so they'll sell it for a little undervalue for me to buy it right now and take care of their problem. So that's kind of the houses we're looking for.
I've met some hoarders who weren't embarrassed.
Some of them aren't.
This is normal.
I see it on the MLS. I'm like, damn, why didn't they call me? This is like a perfect flip deal. They got my flyer. Come on. Yeah.
I remember seeing like stacks of magazine and there'd be like dirty plates on top of the stacks.
Oh, yeah.
Of magazine.
Like 3 TVs, a TV on top of a TV. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen that before.
And they're hoarding garbage.
Yeah.
Like sometimes literally garbage, like takeout garbage. And
it's
like,
crazy.
They don't throw it out.
Yeah. Madness. So we're looking for those deals.
So if anyone has these deals, call me first.
Yeah. No, call me. Call me first.
We're cutting off the show.
Yeah.
This show will never see light.
Yeah.
What do you think the actual ratio is, though? Again, because I want the beginners to know, because again, they're going to fail.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to go on 10 appointments. Maybe don't even go 10 appointments. You may go on 5 appointments and not get any deals.
Oh, exactly.
Done, right? What would you tell that person?
Yeah, like on how to convert better, or just the expectation that they're going to lose?
Let's start with the expectation.
Yeah, the expectation is you're going to lose like 95% of the calls and the leads you go on. Once you convert someone to like an in-person appointment, we're usually converting like 50% of those. Like if somebody's made it to because we're pre-screening on the phone first, on the very first phone call when they call us from the flyer or whatever. We have a set of questions to ask them to make sure they're actually legit and they're actually going to sell. Some people just call for just to know. What are you going to offer me? It's like, well, I haven't seen the house yet, right? And they're just like, well, offer me 600,000, right? It's like, well, I haven't seen the house yet. Some people just want to know valuation. So that's the wrong client. We want to know from people who want to sell. Why are you selling? Is there something going on in your life? We're usually looking for something a little juicy, an important reason why they want to sell. Okay, we'll go see your house now. When can we come? So when we go to that appointment, when it gets to that point, we're converting about half of those. Half of those in person gets converted to a deal. That's the expectation you should strive for. Yeah, like 90% of the calls are just not going to work. If you make it to an appointment, you should be closing half of those to deals.
For the listeners' benefit, I know some people that just try to get whatever the lowest price possible.
Yeah.
Versus, it sounds like you have like a floor.
Yeah. So we have like that formula I just gave you. That's the ideal price. We never even get that. Maybe because how I said I had to pay 400. I might have to pay 420, 430, and the deal still works. There's still money to be made, but that's kind of as high as we can go. But there's room on that formula to play. But yeah, some people just want like the dirtiest deal and literally like take advantage of someone. We're not about that. And in fact, for me being a realtor, we really can't do that. Like I can't like rip someone off. Super bad. It's just not allowed. So yeah, so there's that.
Interesting.
So we're just looking for good deals. Everybody wins. Seller's happy. I'm happy. I'll make money. And for our flips, for example, I'll only do a flip if I know I'm going to make a minimum of 30 grand on the flip. So like that's the metric. So it's not like we're ripping people off and I'm making 150 grand flips. Right. Sometimes we make way more than 30 grand, but we're planning to make 30 grand with our conservative numbers. If we can do that, we'll buy the house.
Right. Even with your conservative numbers, though, you have your economies of scale.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, you're paying for the flyers, you're paying for the acquisition manager, the project manager. So yeah, exactly.
But in theory, everyone has those costs,
exactly, yeah.
Even if they don't think they do.
Yes, that's the thing.
People who are like going door knocking.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You do door knocking?
I do not, especially during COVID times.
I forgot about that.
They'll just yell at them, get out of here. Yeah.
And that's the thing as well, because again, this show is Canadian.
Yeah.
Versus, I won't say which one. I attended a flipping conference.
Yes.
Hosted by Americans.
Yeah.
So we're like have pen in hand.
Yeah.
Paper pad, like they're naming stuff off on how they get lists and stuff like. Oh,
yeah, I know.
Oh, we can't cold call. We have do not call lists.
Yes.
Oh no, we don't have access to that. And it's such the importance of having localized Canadian content.
Yes.
Again, the gentleman I was talking to from Alberta, he had received advice from someone else from Alberta.
Yeah.
Why not to invest in Ontario?
Of course.
And the first objection was you paid double land transfer tax.
Yeah. Only Toronto.
When was the last time you paid double land transfer
tax?
Never.
Tax?
I haven't either.
Exactly, yeah.
Tyler, you ever paid double land transfer tax? He's shaking his head. No.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so again, the importance of having
specialized knowledge. Yeah.
Specialized knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. And then the second objection was regulation. Like regulations are hard in Ontario. Like, well, I believe in Kitchener, it's pretty progressive.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It's like the easiest in Kitchener in terms of like duplexing or building. The Kitchener is super like just do whatever you want, man. Just make more housing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know where things are with the third unit?
Yeah, they're still working away on it. I have one client actually just bought a triplex with a massive garage in the back. He wants to convert that to like an Airbnb unit, and they let him. So it's working, but nobody's like really flying off the shelves. In order to find a property that's big enough to build something in the backyard is like super rare anyway. I think Kitchener just did that to create buzz.
They've created a lot of buzz.
Tons of buzz. But the reality of you implementing that strategy, like it's just rarely going to happen.
Hopefully it's just the gateway drug.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a gateway to refining it. Because for example, I don't even know what the well-defined rules are in Toronto, but they're making it work. Like Toronto's extremely progressive.
Yeah.
Like I've heard from people on the ground doing it. Like Ming Lim, who was on the show, he was saying how like parking's always a tough one.
Yes.
But he was saying because if you're located close enough to a streetcar or a subway station, they basically waived all sorts of parking requirements.
Wow, that's awesome.
You only need like one parking spot for a triplex.
Exactly, yeah.
Versus my city, no way. Your city?
Yeah, same, you need one spot minimum per unit.
Yeah.
So,
but here Toronto waived them all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
They have to, right? They're too dense. They need more housing, yeah.
You're downtown Toronto.
Exactly, yeah.
Millennials who can afford a car?
Exactly, right? Yeah. You're already paying $5,000 a month for rent. No.
Well, that and a parking spot is $80,000.
Totally.
It's more than a car.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
Not even a piece of land that you're parking it on. It's a spot in the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
Or underground where you park it is $80,000.
Oh my God.
And you have to live there.
That's crazy.
And you have to have a big enough condo to be able to buy it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. What else do people always ask you about? What are some of the common questions people ask you?
Just like what strategy to do. Like you said, most people want to do flipping because it's sexy. So I get a lot of that.
You built something to be able to do it.
Yes, like if it's a newbie that comes on, is like, I want to flip. I saw HGTV. I saw your videos. I want to do it. I'm like, no, dude, like you got to do buy and holds. So I'm always redirecting. You got to do buy and holds. Trust me. In 5 years, you'll thank me. And then we help them build the buy and hold portfolio, and then you can flip after. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just trying to think of the flippers I do know.
Yeah.
And they're often the people that have technical knowledge, or like I'll take Brady McDonald for example.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't come from trades. He was just so technical in his background and working for the utility company and willing to learn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt and I are playing footsies. Or like Ryan Carr, for example,
Yeah.
he was willing to learn and he did it himself.
Yeah.
He got himself on the tools first.
Exactly. Yeah.
So maybe is that the path? Someone's got to often be on the tools.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start. And then when I think of all the people that have, are doing really well, like you just said, like they start on the tools. So did I, right? Like I'm a carpenter background, so it just made it so much easier for me to get into flipping. I understand how to lay the floors. I understand why you got to add a subfloor for tiles, etc. Right? Like I know what to do so that if contractors are working for me and they're cutting corners, I'm like, hey, you didn't do that step. You're not doing it. Like we know that, right? So it's a lot easier for us to flip. So you do need some knowledge to be a real estate investor regardless when it comes to renovations, but especially a flipper, like you better know how things go together. If you're not going to go on the tools, at least know the theoretical knowledge like really, really well.
Because I don't know how many times I've had like a corporate white collar person come to me and say, I'm going to be a flipper.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, okay.
I hear it all the time.
Yeah, you too. Okay. I'm glad I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
And I always have to talk him off of that.
Yeah.
Because I tell him like for real.
Yeah.
Like, do you have experience on the tools? Do you have experience like being on job sites?
Yeah.
Can you even spot what's wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And often it's no.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get the ideas.
I know. I think the best thing is to make your mistakes in the buy and holds. Because if you hold the property for 5 years and you make a mistake in the renovation, you overpay maybe 10 grand more. A contractor screwed you and you lost 3K. Big deal. You can make that up in 5 years easily, especially in Ontario. Like you'll be fine when you sell it. If you make those mistakes on your first couple flips, you're going to lose. Like spending 10K more on a flip or losing 5K is a lot on a flip. Like you'll feel that right away when it comes time to sell 2 months later, right? So you really got to know your stuff before you flip.
And then do you have plan B for your flips? So say, I don't know.
No, you know what? Not really. Because we're only buying deals. Like that's what I like. The odds of me losing money, I'd really have to mess it up. Like, you know what I mean? So it's very unlikely. So yeah, like I guess if I really had to, I could figure something out, Airbnb it, get a partner on to hold it. But it's always plan A for the flip. But like I said, I'd rather only make 3K on a flip than have to like hold it as a rental and deal with it. I'd rather just get rid of it. But I'll never lose money ever.
Did you have anything for sale in February, March?
Yes. Yeah. We had, we started selling our properties in like February. And then, but the most like one, but all the rest that I sold, like the other 9 or 10 was all during COVID. Yeah.
No problem.
No problems at all. They sold just fine. More than what I wanted. Before in January when I was projecting numbers, they sold for more. So
crazy.
Yeah.
And I just want to highlight for the listener, like they may think this is risky, but you mentioned that you're targeting single family homes for your flips.
Yeah.
Do you know how many offers you're getting on each of them? On your flips?
Like when I go to sell them? Yeah. It's between 5 and 10 on average. Yeah, for sure. And they're all firm, all cash, all of them. Yeah. Because we stage them, like they look sick. Like people want this house, right? We have the system and the color scheme down pat. Like we know our end user, what they want, and yeah, we sell them quick. Knock on wood again, but every time we sell them.
So then for your flipping systems, is everything pretty consistent? They all look the same? Do they all look the same?
Like the after renovations? Yeah, every house looks almost the exact same. Yeah. We tweak it a little bit now, especially because Rachel, my wife, is on board full time with us now as the head person who makes all the choices and stuff like that. So we're getting a little more fun. Like if we're buying a house in Hespeler, for example, which is a little more farmy, a little more country, we're doing a little more, we're playing with the paints, colors a little bit, but in reality, they're all the same. Like they all look the same.
Sorry, your partner's name is Rachel?
Yeah.
And was this part of the plan that she would come into the business?
Not exactly. So she was always head person who like did all the color schemes, all the renovations. She made all of those choices like throughout the whole time we've been together, because we've been together since we were 16. So she's been through everything.
Oh,
yeah,
long.
Yeah.
Holy.
So she's been through the whole business, the whole thing. So she's been helping behind the scenes for the past 10 years that we've been investing. But she just finished her PhD and in COVID, and they're not hiring. So, and she didn't know if she wanted to be a professor anyway. Her goal was to stay within the academia, segment. So she was always wanted to be a prof, but now they're just not hiring. Well, they are, but not in our area of Kitchener-Waterloo, like within a 1 hour radius, all the schools, right? So like she won't go to, New Brunswick or Edmonton. She can easily get a job there, but like we're not going there. Our business is kicking too much ass. So she always said if we can get a professor job within there, UW, Laurier, whatever, Toronto, then she'll teach there. But anyway, they're not hiring. So she just said like, screw it. Like I'll just come on full time, design everything, be the head designer. So that's what she's doing now. And yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, lucky she had this pivot.
Yeah, totally.
What would she do if He was a starving student, like most
Phew,
starving
yeah,
students.
I know. We'd have to move to New Brunswick or something. I don't know.
I think their winters are cold.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I'd hate it.
Oh, we're gonna get some hate for that.
Yeah.
From New Brunswick.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
if there's one of our 12 listeners.
Yeah,
New Brunswick.
exactly. Yeah.
What does she do her PhD in?
Crime and sociology.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then is it just her passion to teach?
Yeah, she's a great teacher and just loves it. She's great at it.
Because I'm gonna guess she's making more money working with you.
1,000%. Yeah, like literally 1,000 times.
That's cool. So it's not about the money, eh?
No, yeah. Well, it kind of was. Like she always had in the back of her mind, like she was gonna do it for as long as I was an investor. And our plan was always to leave Canada and live in like Hawaii, Costa Rica full time in the next 5-6 years. We'll see, right?
Yeah.
So her plan was I'll be a prof till then, and then we'll peace out, right? But this happened quicker, so now we're both full time entrepreneurs.
All right, we're going to anger some people because we're going to go off the board.
Yeah,
off real estate.
Nice.
Where are you traveling to first when the borders open? Say the pandemic's
over.
Yeah, say there's no more virus or nothing.
Back to Hawaii, 100%. Yeah, we go there a lot.
Where in Hawaii?
Any island. The only one we haven't been to is Maui, so we're gonna go to Maui next. We've been to all the other ones.
Any favorites?
So far,
or just do it all.
They all have their own flavor, which is great. Yeah, very cool place.
What's the population? I don't know much about
I think
Hawaii.
like the biggest islands is like 400,000. A couple of them are like 200,000. Yeah, very small. Locals, by the way, but there's probably that much tourists on top of that.
Would you invest there?
Yeah, totally. But I won't because I like to stay here. But the idea is cool. Maybe someday, but not right now.
Do you think you'll spend a lot of time there?
Yeah, for sure. Like either Costa Rica or Hawaii is our spots. Like we will probably end up living in one of those two. Most likely Costa Rica because it's just way easier for immigration.
Cool.
It's super easy.
Yeah, James actually owns a condo there.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he bought a condo.
Cool.
It's like 300 meters from the water.
Yes.
In Hako.
Oh, nice. Yeah, great place.
Yeah, in case you ever want to talk to him about how to legally
for
own
sure.
property.
Yeah.
Because it's bonkers there.
Yeah.
Again, this is the real estate geek coming out of me.
Yeah.
Like, I believe his land title literally says 3 kilometers from the center of the city.
Yeah.
Like that's his legal description of his property.
Yeah, that's Costa Rica in a nutshell. Like when you go to Airbnbs, it's always like turn right at the palm tree, turn left at the restaurant. You're like, what the hell?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine. And then classic foreigner. I show the Uber driver where we're going. He's like, where the hell is that?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a different world
That's
outside
weird,
of Canada.
Yeah. It's a Wild West over there.
Well, I think it's a Wild West almost a lot of places.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Like, people have no idea how good
structured we are. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and how structured and like there's no one's gonna mistake your property for theirs.
Exactly. Yeah. Jeez, 3 kilometers from the center of town. That's amazing.
It's something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, me and my friend were there, and we're trying to find his condo.
Yeah.
And like, dude, it ain't here.
Yeah, it's not here. You got screwed, man. Yeah.
I probably should have said anything because, like, now that I think about it, when I say that out loud, how awful that sounds.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he was already worried.
Yeah, totally.
You already had to put down like a significant amount of dollars.
Oh,
in the US.
for sure. That's funny.
That probably wasn't funny.
It's not here, man.
Matt, we're running out of time. Is there anything else you want to share? What do people, again, a lot of people are afraid. Actually, one of the things I hear a lot is a lot of people are wondering where the market is going from here.
Yeah.
Because we've gone up a lot.
Yes.
After no one expected it to.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it sounds like you're still full send on everything.
Yeah, we're going full on everything. And if you're buying with the right formula, the right metrics, you really can't lose. But we're being conservative, obviously, on every deal. But yeah, just the biggest thing I can tell you is just specialize and know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. Too many people chase cash flow, chase money, and they're buying here. They're buying 3 hours over there. They're buying 4 hours up north over there. And they're just chasing the deals. Mm-hmm. That's where you make mistakes. If you just specialize and own one area, one type of real estate, start off like that for your first 5 years of investing, build your foundation, build your wealth strong. You won't regret it. Like you'll be fine.
And you've been around for a while. How narrow is your focus area for acquiring property?
Yeah, when it comes to like buy and hold, it's only Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge. If we're doing flips, it's a 1 hour radius around Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge. That's it. Yeah.
But you've been at this for a while.
Yeah, 10 years, and I still am that, specific.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking for the beginner, like, they really can't. I don't know if they can really go beyond like 3 neighborhoods, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like one town maximum. Yeah.
Not even just one town.
Yeah.
One neighborhood.
Go neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah. Start off there and just own it. Right. Own it.
Awesome. All right. Awesome. And then where can folks follow you?
Yeah, on YouTube, number one, if you just type in the Fruitful Investor on YouTube or Google, you'll find me. Second is Instagram at Mat Piche. That's the best place.
Can you spell Mat?
MatPiche. If you follow me on Instagram, that's more of like my day-to-day life. You'll see more behind the scenes kind of stuff. And then YouTube is all the knowledge is all there.
And then are you going on any of these new platforms?
TikTok and I haven't gotten there yet. We'll talk
Okay.
about it. We'll figure something out.
Okay, Tyler, TikTok.
We're working on it. Yeah, I like to
Do you
specialize, man.
dance?
Yeah. Oh, I'll be dancing. Don't worry about that.
Juggle fruit. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, dude, good idea. See?
Amazing, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, thanks so much for doing this.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
Hope we are gonna have some fun shooting some zombies.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah. You know, we invited some friends.
Yeah, I saw that. It's gonna be sweet.
Awesome. Do you know all these guys?
I know like most of them. Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna have some fun.
It's gonna be good, man.
Awesome. Thank you again. Before you go, if you're interested in learning more about an alternative means of cash flowing like hundreds of other real estate investors have already, then sign up for my newsletter and you'll learn of the next free demonstration webinar I'll be delivering on the subject of stock hacking. It's a much improved demonstration over the one that I gave to my cousin Chubby at Thanksgiving dinner in 2019. He now averages 1% cash flow per week, and he's a musician by trade. As a real estate investor myself, I got into real estate for the cash flow, but with the rising costs to operate a rental business, it's just not the same as it was 5 to 10 years ago when I started. Never forget that cash flow reduces your risk. The more you have, the more lumps you can absorb. And if you have none or limited cash flow, you're going to be paying out of your pocket, like I did on a recent basement flood at my student rental in St. Catharines, Ontario. If you're interested in learning more, register for free for my newsletter at www.truthaboutrrealestateinvesting.ca. Enter your name and email address on the right side. We'll include in the newsletter when we announce our next free stock hacker demonstration. Find out for yourself what so many real estate investors are doing to diversify and increase their cash flow. And if you can't tell, I love teaching and sharing this stuff.